very bad, Ray.
I
I don't understand this monk reference thing in the title, so I
I
can't
didn't
wait to
do.
find out.
Yeah, I'm very lost on
I
that.
mean, I know what monk is. I'm just saying
Yeah.
I don't see how it.
Or is this like Tony Shalhoub Appreciation Week and I missed it? Or,
Ooh, there we go.
You'll find out.
I think every week is Tony Shalhoub Appreciation Week, isn't
I
it?
know.
No?
Have you seen him in Miss?
It
You
will
know,
be
I
from
guess.
Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Of course
Yeah.
I have.
Oh yeah.
Of course I have.
Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. There's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
The Dorkening and all affiliated shows are not intended for anyone under the age of 18. The following may contain discussions or scenes that have adult situations, graphic violence, nudity, strong sexual content, and graphic language. This show is intended for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey, happy Wednesday, everybody. You're watching Mid Week Geeks, powered by the Dorkening Podcast Network. We have an awesome show scheduled for you, as always. We got a lot of stuff to talk about today, and we're going to have a lot of fun with it, too. So, thanks for joining us. And without further ado, Jar Jar!
Hey, everybody. I got the new bad haircut, and I'm ready for the midweek geeks.
No rhyme? You disappoint me, Jar Jar.
I know. I'm just I'm using all that energy for this weekend.
Okay.
Storing it up.
Okay, I'll give you a pass. Brendan!
Hey, kids! Hey, what's happening, everybody? I don't expect you to answer because this is a one-sided conversation, but thanks for tuning in.
It can be two-way if you
I
let
will
the
kick
voices
you,
out.
I will kick you off the show, Leo.
Yo.
Hey, everybody. Hope everybody's having a good week so far.
Always. And Steven, you let the voices in your head out every now and then, right?
You could say that. Good evening, everyone. Oh, wait. Who said that? Oh, by the way, Brandon, that's kind of like a two-way mirror when you were talking about the one-way conversation type of thing earlier, right?
Yeah, more to the point, like I can speak to them, but they can't speak to me.
Yeah, like a two-way mirror.
Or a one-sided conversation.
Yeah.
It wasn't like it wasn't symbolism or anything. It was exactly
See what you're
I
doing
said.
there, Brandon.
Oh, using words to convey my exact thoughts? Yes, you nailed it, Jeremy. That is exactly what I'm doing. I'm glad you saw it.
Well, so Brandon, since you were asking before the show why we're showing Monk for our thumbnail. Actually, sorry, we have a comments. I don't want to miss everybody. Hey, Tom Dog, how's it going? Happy Wednesday, Carrie. Happy Wednesday.
Hey, Tom. Hey, Carrie.
So, yeah, there's a Monk movie coming out, a reunion movie. Peacock ordered.
Yep.
Finally.
I know. What?
Oh, I'm sorry. What I said was finally.
Extra emphasis on the eye roll. Let's see.
Tony Shalhoub.
I mean, I can do it a third time for you. Ready? Finally.
Yes, Carrie, they just announced that there will be a Monk reunion movie on Peacock. Peacock ordered it. Tony Shalhoub is he's a national treasure, you know, is
Yes. I mean, it's kind of, I hope this reunion is kind of similar to the Psych reunion movie they had a few years ago.
Just the one?
No, they had 2.
3.
Oh, 3. Okay. Who's counting?
Well, I mean,
Brandon.
me, obviously. I know, you know, that I'm not telling the truth. That's the theme song to Psych, kids.
To the blueberry.
Gus, to the blueberry. My name is John Jacob Jingley Heimerschmidt. That also used to be his name, but he had to change it. People would just shout whenever we went outside.
USA really had some gems, you know.
There was a time.
Burn Notice.
Burn Notice. Yeah. Well, Burn Notice. That shit kills me because Jeffrey Donovan is so hardcore New Englander. Like he is from Massachusetts through and through. He went to Bridgewater State College, like 2 towns over from me. Yeah. It kills me because he's playing this big spy, this burnt spy who's originally from Florida. And every time I watched that show, and I watched the whole series. I watched the entire thing, and it was rather enjoyable. But it was just hysterical. Him doing the narration, especially like when you're a spy. I'm like, bro, try harder, please. And the funniest fucking thing about it was there was a time where he had to pose as a guy from Boston while he was doing one of his little jobby things there in Burn Notice. And he sounded like an actor doing a Boston accent. I'm like, how the fuck did you manage that? That is incredible.
He had to sound like he's.
It was so bad.
The narration was the best part, though. It's like it was more like it felt like MacGyver, you know.
Yeah.
And
except like with a lot more murder.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, now I remember the first season when they got to the second season, they actually had to change up the narration because like the stuff he was talking about in the first season was like actual legit, like how to make bombs and shit like that. I
trying to come up with a 2% solution to make a homemade bomb. This is what you do. Like, bro, this is not supposed to be like the YouTube channel for the Anarchist Cookbook. Calm the fuck down. Spies, bunch of bitchy little girls.
White Collar was another good one.
Dara watched that whole thing. She loved that show.
Yeah. What was the one with the She's Not a Princess? That wasn't White Collar, was it?
I feel like you did not give me enough to go on there.
She's not a princess.
There's lots of shows I can name where she isn't a princess, whomever she may be.
The she's
Obi-Wan.
No, she married.
No, she is a princess. Princess Leia.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Program, Jar Jar. Damn.
Are you thinking
Markle?
Suits? Are you saying Suits?
Suits, yes, Suits. Yeah. Meghan Markle. Yeah.
I realized he was talking about the person.
Yeah,
and the actor, not the actual character. Yeah,
total sense.
Context.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Leo.
you blur the line between the story you're trying to describe and reality, Leo.
See,
that makes it very difficult for everyone else to get a bead on it.
You just need to catch up because Yo-Yo's known me super long. He speaks Leo, you know?
Yeah, wear that like a badge of pride.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for the Monk reunion. I
You think the pandemic happened in the world of Monk with this movie coming out?
Oh man.
Because let's be realistic. From the bit I've seen of Monk, he would never not be wearing a mask after that point.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so like
he wouldn't touch
getting Tony Shalhoub back.
Gloves, mask.
You're assuming it's
probably
Tony
like face shield.
He's gonna fucking have a hazmat suit on. You fucking kidding me?
Riding a unicycle with bagpipes of flames coming out. Yeah.
Have a fucking pressurized decontamination unit fucking attached to his door.
Yeah, Jesus. Monk is the hazmat suit. Yeah. I don't know if he wore one. There's an episode where like the garbage men were on strike and like
I'm sure he has.
Yeah. Oh my.
That seems like an easy one to do.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer, kid. No-brainer.
That was a great show. But Tony Shalhoub also on Wings, The Marvelous Miss Maisel. Yeah,
Galaxy Quest.
13 Ghosts.
Great in Galaxy Quest, yeah.
Did you know that there was a scene cut from Galaxy Quest that showed right before they all got taken up by the aliens to go on the ship to help them, that his character, the actor he was playing, was getting stoned in a like bathroom or a locker room or the alley behind wherever they were, and that's when he got like zapped up, and that's why the entire time there he's like, all right, because he's fucking blasted out of his mind.
Oh, that's awesome.
And they cut it, and you know what? I honestly have to say, I like that we have that story, but I'm glad they cut it because it just shows like otherwise that dude may have actually partied way too fucking hard when that show was at its zenith, and he's just been like burnt out ever since. Like, yeah, all right, man. What aliens need us to save them? Yeah, it sounds like a Tuesday to me, bro.
One thing I found interesting about their production, I saw the documentary that came out recently, I think a year or two ago, when they were doing the edits for the film before it came out. I guess Sigourney Weaver was being interviewed, and I guess that scene where they have to go through the engine room and they have that, I
didn't need to see that on a documentary. I knew that the first time I saw it because I
didn't know that though, because
you can see her mouth. It very easily. She's like, "Fuck that," and they changed it to "screw this."
Yeah,
I'm like, all right, but I mean, I get it. They wanted to keep it, PG-13 at most.
Oh, so it was edited for TV like the rest of the 80s movies?
No, it was edited for movie theaters so parents would let their children go see it. The unfortunate thing is not very many people, let alone the children of those parents, went to go see it because the marketing was poorly handled for that movie. Mm-hmm. And it's crazy because it is like very regularly at the top, and this is fucking bug nuts insane, but regularly at the top of a lot of people's favorite Star Trek movies. Oh, yeah. And not in like a they don't know what the fuck they're talking about way. Straight up, like they love Star Trek, and Galaxy Quest is their favorite Star Trek movie. Even the name of the ship in it, NTE, whatever the numbers are, it stands for not the Enterprise.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I love that flick.
Yeah, that's a great movie. Before the show, I was talking about, and sorry, I didn't complete a thought here. So there's software that will change your eyes for the webcam. So say if I'm looking over here, it will actually make my... What's that?
Can I make them shark eyes or...
No. It will
I want to have big old backs and fly eyes.
With CGI, it will actually make it look like your eyes are looking at the camera instead of looking
once away. Again, I have zero interest in such a thing. I am good.
I don't want to teach the computers where I'm looking.
Yeah, exactly. It's like all those people that like we're scanning themselves and shit. And like, oh, this is what my AI is. I'm like, oh, that's so cool that everybody has like fucking scans of your face and shit now. Phenomenal. Why don't you keep doing that? Hey, while you're at it, why don't you tell them what your mother's middle name was and the make and model of your very first car? Like, wait a minute. Somebody broke into my bank account. They did? How did that happen?
What was your first pet's name?
Yeah, what was your first pet's name? Wow. You want to know so many interesting details about me. I can't wait till our first date. Me too. What's your favorite color?
What street did you grow up on?
What street did you grow up on?
Your mother's maiden name?
What's the last 4 of your social security? Wait a minute.
Hold on, we're going a little deep now.
Wait a minute. Why do you need that? Oh, it's for an astrology thing. Well, in that case.
Okay.
Computers are just getting too crazy. Like, have you seen those new filters? Like, there's that will make like a 50-year-old guy look like a teenage girl.
I've seen the one that makes me look like a teenager-ish.
Yeah, I've seen that teenage-er thing too. Like,
I've seen
everyone's like,
videos
oh my
of it.
god, I wish I could go back in time and tell this young person all the things.
It kind of just blurs a little of your facial hair out and adds a little like darkening and softens around your eyes.
Yeah, I'm bald and look like Santa in training. Do the trick.
So it'll make you look like Tim Allen from Tool Time.
No, not at all. If anything, and I can't stress this enough, probably more like Tim Allen in the Santa Claus.
Wasn't Tool Time before Santa Claus? What was the first?
Yeah, but the thing I said,
It was actually around the same time.
see the thing is, what I said was, I'm bald and look like Santa in training. So if you were to just like pick a Tim Allen project that would be the most likely reference to,
Yep.
Do you think Home Improvement is the top of that list? Because I don't. I'm just saying. I'm gonna put it out there. I don't.
That's how my mind works, dude.
I feel like. I mean, just shot in the dark here, right? The Santa Claus.
Well, yeah, but before the Santa Claus,
Maybe closely followed up by
Dudes
Jungle
in
to Jungle
training.
just for the fuck of it, but definitely Santa Claus right at the top of the list. I would go to Jungle before I jump to Home Improvement on that. Just saying.
See, I was making a connection where never mind. My mind it works very differently.
No, I see where the connection was. Tim
So does
Allen was in
mine.
both of those things.
Yes.
He was in
And a
training
younger- so,
to be the
like,
Santa Claus.
Yeah, you have Tim Allen in the Santa Claus, but then a younger Tim Allen would be Tim Allen from Home Improvement.
That would be Tim Allen in
fairness,
jail.
I could understand if the first thing you didn't jump to was the Santa Claus. However, I do think if that were not the one you jumped to, the Santa Claus 2, the Mrs. Claus, or the Santa Claus 3, or the Disney Plus show, The Santa Claus Escape Clause, should definitely be right up there. And Home Improvement, once again, way.
I think he dressed as Santa once on Home Improvement.
I would
I'm sure he
accept
did.
I would accept the answer of who is Cletus Tout that he starred in with Christian Slater before I'd agree to Home Improvement.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Welcome to the Mid Week Geeks, everybody.
So Willow got canceled.
Oh,
I
what?
know.
No,
That was so
No.
quick.
Really?
I can't say
Why?
anything.
Why?
I can't say anything bad about the show because I couldn't be bothered to fucking watch it. So
I
there's
got
that.
This is
two
for me,
or three
I had this feeling that
episodes
list is long.
It's cute for kids, but just not my cup of tea.
Makes me think of the Hudsucker Proxy. For kids. What is it? It's for kids. Oh. Still don't know what it is.
I watched it. I didn't watch the whole thing, because I kind of got sick of it.
Hold
but
on, you got through Andor, but we didn't get through friggin' Willow.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
right?
Okay, that's a different story.
Yes, it
How?
is. See, one is about magic and wizardry with a little dwarf dude that's a magician, and the other is based on a dude that you know is gonna die in a planetary explosion in a fucking mid-tier Star Wars movie.
But
so we understand the
that
difference
does have
between the
a
stories.
small guy that
they're
does
both
magic.
Lucas properties, though.
There is that. They are both
Yeah.
stupid Lucas properties.
And if you keep watching long enough, you'll get to a little guy with magic.
It circles. It circles back.
Yep.
Full circle.
So yeah, in the beginning, you definitely get hit with the nostalgia feels, but then it just kind of like petered off, you know.
That's how I felt too. It was kind of like,
I wish I
Is
had been hit with
nostalgia
the
not worth
nostalgia
having,
feels when I
or-
saw the fucking trailer for that show. That would have been amazing. But instead, I was just like, meh. Okay.
That was my reaction too.
I should have stuck with my gut feeling because it was pretty meh. I got more excited just because it had the name Willow. I was like, oh my God, Willow, Mad Marvel. You're all great. But no, it wasn't.
Yeah. So sticking on Disney properties, did Brandon, did you watch Mando this week?
I did.
Okay.
No, I did not. Not yet.
I did not.
I got the
I-
first
I-
15 in.
I was only asking. Sorry, I focused on Brandon because I know his hate for Andor. So
No. Listen.
Yeah.
Okay. Any dislike I have for a Star Wars project, no, I can't stress this enough. Like, this is not a joke. Any dislike I may have for a Star Wars project is not ubiquitous across the line for everything that's Star Wars. Far from it. I'm more than willing to give anything a chance. I gave Andor a chance, and you know, my reaction by the end of the first episode was, you know, I didn't feel a burning need to go back to it, honestly. And Mandalorian, I absolutely adore. I think it's well constructed. It's approached appropriately. It's executed well. Book of Boba Fett, aside from when it turns into the Mandalorian season 2.5, can get fucked with a rusty chainsaw. Like, that fucking show was stupid. It didn't need to exist. And the only reason they made it was because they're like, fans are gonna fucking love this. For all you fucking homeboys and homegirls out there that have the weirdest mad on for Boba Fett,
I don't understand what they're talking about.
I will never understand. I will never like. Listen, like,
keep it up, Jar Jar. Keep it up.
you like Boba Fett, that's great. But quite frankly,
It's my
Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
Oh, love it.
I can't even.
But you know, if for everybody that likes Boba Fett, fine. I don't get it. I really don't. Like, from a storytelling standpoint, for the longest time.
I
For
think
me-
it's just this whole weird. We had this idea from Empire what Boba Fett would be
Okay.
Yeah.
and what Boba Fett is.
But that's the thing, is like, there was so much that was filled, the gaps were filled in by just like fans themselves, and by lots of little different side stories where he was the focus over the years. And I've just never understood the draw to him. Like, personally, I've never gotten it. Like, in watching Star Wars with all the fucking cool lightsabers and Force and a fucking 7-foot talking dog man, I just couldn't wrap my head around this dude with a fucking upside down bucket on his head was capturing the imaginations of everybody who said they love Star Wars. It was beyond me as a child. It's beyond me now. But I will say, be careful what you fucking wish for. I mean, I said it for the longest time. Like, let Boba Fett be dead. Just let him be dead in the Sarlacc pit, because whatever it is they do, it is not going to be good. And straight up, the Book of Boba Fett, not good. Like, objectively, I wanted it to be good. Please don't think I sat there and I was like, oh, this is going to be fucking terrible. I was like, come on, wow me. Like, seriously, like, convince me why I was wrong to like not be interested in this character. And then I watched the show and I was like, this is another fucking Star Wars project on Tatooine about Boba Fett pulling himself out of a fucking Sarlacc pit. Come on, son. What is Carrie saying? Has it
That's
ever been
dark,
decided whether
Carrie.
Jango Fett's head was still in the helmet when Boba Fett picked it up? If so, did he keep it? I don't know.
I mean, you would assume he shook it out after a while.
Well, they're definitely adding to they definitely have plans for Boba Fett because they're expanding his.
Well, good.
Well, I
And
mean,
they do keep
clearly
speaking about him.
that's exciting news for me, Leo. After the fucking diatribe I just went on, but you know, go off, I guess.
Well, because he has a sister now.
What?
You didn't have a sister then? What the fuck? Well, no, you know what? I don't care. I don't care. I don't even want to ask anymore.
How? He's a clone.
Sure.
Yes.
What's her name? Bobo Fett?
There's a
Boba T?
No.
No, her last name would be the same. Come on, Steve.
No. She doesn't know she's her sister, but she's.
Does he know she's her sister? Does anybody know she's his sister other than you, Leo? Is she in the room right now?
Is she here with us? Can you see
Can you
her?
hear her? Is she talking to you?
It's Omega from the Bad Batch.
Who?
Omega from the Bad Batch.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
that's
see,
right.
I haven't watched the cartoon.
Right. I knew she was a female clone of Boba Fett because when she started talking, she had a New Zealand accent.
Yeah.
Because Boba Fett's the only person in the entire fucking universe who has a genetic accent somehow. I don't get it. If you ever hear a guy's like, "Yeah, I'm a bounty hunter," it's like, "Oh, he's a clone. He's a clone of Jango Fett." How do you know that? Because he sounds like he's from New Zealand. Oh, good point. Very good point. He is the only one that sounds like that.
But she was created, from my understanding, created very similar to how Bobo was created. Like Bobo is a clone of Jango, but he's like unaltered clone or something like that, and he doesn't rapidly age like the rest of the other clones. And Omega is the same way.
You're dropping a whole lot of stuff that I don't know about when it comes to Jango Fett's clones.
I remember that from the movie.
I remember my interest in Jango Fett waning out completely when I didn't have to see him anymore in prequel movies. I was fine with it then. I'm fine with it now. But you brought up Mandalorian. So
Yes.
Bring up a good thing, and then we start talking about this fucking bullshit.
Well, because the second, I don't want to spoil it, but like the second half is very Andorian.
Leave it at that, because I don't want to.
It's very Andorian.
Well, not the Star Trek character.
No, I'm just what? What?
Oh my god!
Fuck! What the fuck is happening right now? Jesus Christ, dude!
Leo
Andorian. What the fuck? Dude, I swear to God, I'm about to have a fucking stroke. Andorian Star Wars? What the fuck? Is that the name of the fucking planet? What? Is that the planet?
No. It just very Andor-ish. Is that better?
How the fuck would I know that, dude? I've watched the first episode of Andor, and I don't know, man.
Okay.
I can't speak to that, but it was you can put it this way, like without giving spoilers, it was an interesting standalone-ish type episode. It's bookended by Mando and Bo-Katan, and you spend several minutes at the beginning, several minutes at the end, and then there's a whole other story that's taking place concurrently, but it's a now time ago in a galaxy very, very much the same as the one you're in.
Okay.
And it was done well. It's atmospheric, a little on the nose. I mean, I saw the end part of that coming from a mile away, but it was done well. And I'm curious what the ramifications are going to be later in the series for that. And that's all I got to say about that.
Yeah.
I will say this. Mythosaur has to be one of the dumbest fucking names for something I've ever heard in my entire life.
Yes.
I literally I wrote these down. I turned to Dara and I said, Mythosaur. Ooh, I wonder if they're going to bump into a Storysaurus or a Plotodactyl or a Novelociraptor.
See,
Go for it, Yo-Yo.
Chronicles of Riddick. That's my argument against the stupidest name for something ever. Furious.
Okay. I mean, if we're talking in totality, I apologize. Let me rephrase. One of the dumbest fucking names I've ever heard.
Well, it's
Furians is pretty high up there.
What was say that again?
Furians.
Yeah, it's not great. It's not great.
That was a placeholder name that they're just like, yeah, let's roll with it.
Yeah, well, I mean, so is Mythosaur. I'm like, Mythosaur, really? Like, what was it between that and Legend Dinosaur? Mythosaur.
What about Crate Dragon? Is it a dragon of boxes?
It's the Magosaurus.
Crate Dragon? What?
Yeah.
The Crete Dragon.
I don't know.
I don't know.
That was one of the things that they killed back on.
Yeah, but it's also the first creature you see in Star Wars. It's that bones that C-3PO walks by. That's a Crate Dragon.
But what does that have to do with fucking Mythosaur?
Well, it's from the same time frame.
But I'm talking about the stupidity of the name.
I'm saying it's a silly name as well. Crate.
No. Crate was Krayt?
Yeah.
All right, Crate Dragon. That's fine. Mythosaur? Come on,
I
son.
get it.
I mean, that's why. Did you not hear the other ridiculous names that I came up with in the theme?
Oh yeah, I did.
Plotodactyl.
Mytha.
But it's a name that's been around.
I was actually super proud of Novelociraptor.
That's pretty good.
Well, what about Velocipaster?
Good movie.
Oh my!
What?
That's
is it like a priest with super speed?
Oh my God! It's
really good.
It's a good movie. It's a good movie.
Is that what it is?
It's a priest that turns into a velociraptor.
Yes.
It is hilarious.
Why wouldn't it be?
Oh my God! You got to watch the movie. It is
phenomenal.
Yeah, it is friggin' hilarious. It was so low budget, and like there's one scene.
No, what? Get out of here! Tell me more. I'm so surprised to hear that.
Wasn't it like some Microsoft Paint or something? They just put up a graphic said car explosion here.
Probably not even Microsoft.
No, it was the green screen.
Fucking
like
Mario
that.
Paint and a camcorder.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Carrie says they're making a sequel.
Gary, I think it's I don't know if it's already out yet.
Velocipaster 2. This time it's personal.
Yeah. But he's
We're
fighting
going to
ninjas,
church.
and it's a trip. It's a real trip.
Sunday school.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ! No, just his devoted servant.
What? Yes.
Jesus Christ, where?
Ooh.
So I watched The Mandalorian. It was good. Check it out if you like The Mandalorian. I mean, I wouldn't say if you've never seen it at this point, go check out this episode because season 3 may not be the best time to jump on that one. Just saying.
So what did the rest of you think about Mando this episode?
I only made it up to where the TIE fighters were introduced, so and then my viewing was interrupted. So I will finish the rest later. But so far, I loved the last episode. What they did at the end of it gave me a whoo. I want to see more of that.
I've only seen the first episode because I've been so busy with work. But after this show, I'm gonna catch up on the other 2 episodes. There's 3 out, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So, yeah.
What about you?
I haven't caught up, and I will not be doing that after I get off of this. I will be going to sleep.
I dig it.
Sleep is good. So
maybe Saturday.
Okay.
I got everything to do Saturday.
Well, it's decent. It was it was a good episode. Definitely don't want to spoil it, but you can see
It's not
where.
going to stop me from watching it. Just,
Oh no. I know, but you can definitely see possibly where things may be going.
In the
I mean,
preview,
you're
for
better than me because I have no idea where the fuck they were going with it. I legitimately was like, I'm curious as to what this is going to lead to. I
Well,
do not know.
I was a little confused at first where they started off with the preview of the episode going back into with the first season with I forget the doctor's name being introduced, but then they had the TIE fighters and stuff, and they started. I was like, oh, okay. Empire is the bosses of the Empire coming down.
Yeah, he was the scientist that's responsible
Yeah.
for cloning.
Yeah.
The one that was running tests on Grogu.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then most likely that's going to be how they work in Palpatine.
I actually did say that to Dara. I was like, oh, good. Maybe we'll finally get an explanation for Palpatine's presence again. Something a little bit better than
God damn it.
Palpatine returned. Oh. Thanks, Poe.
Yeah.
That's all we need.
In rewatching the first and most of the second season before season 3 came out, when they're talking about Grogu, they made the comment about, we'll never find another subject with such a high M count. And
Midichlorian?
yeah. So
yeah, I thought that was pretty.
Yeah,
that was
but
pretty
no, I was just
straightforward.
after thinking about that then shows you like how strong Grogu could be in the Force.
Yeah, well, I mean, think about
They got him thrown fucking.
Think about Yoda. I mean, when we first get introduced to the whole bullshit theory of midichlorians and Phantom Menace, it's like that's even higher than Master Yoda. I'm like, yeah, all right, cool. If you guys say so. I always thought it was like a cool mystic force that flows through you and
I
all
thought
living
we all
things.
could do it.
But apparently, it's fucking
With
just
training.
magic bacteria. Everybody, some are born with it, some aren't. Suck it up.
Yep. My lot in life, even in the Star Wars universe, I'm still a sucker.
I'm just waiting for the Rian Johnson movie, Rise of Broom Boy.
Has anyone seen the season?
He's here to sweep the evil out of the galaxy.
Has anyone seen the season finale of The Last of Us yet?
Not yet.
I haven't even seen the season premiere of The Last of Us, so
premiere was good.
I will
get through the rest of it.
I will say, it's really good, and it leaves the door open for season 2, even though season 2 is already greenlit. It's
so
good.
then maybe you don't need to say it leaves the door open. Like you're just like, oh, it's a cliffhanger into season 2.
I'd say check it out. If you've played the game, you already know what happens, but yeah, check it out.
How many seasons do they think they're going to go with to complete the story?
I think they're going to go with 2, maybe 3.
I'm thinking 3 because I heard they're going to split up the second game into 2, at the very least. So,
well, let me ask you a question. And truly, you can. For me, at any rate, I can't speak for anybody else, but you could spoil the shit out of me. I do not care. But I don't think you need to give me a lot of detail.
I already played the game. I know how it goes.
With the
I'm playing it. So
end of the first season, where does it fall within the story from the game?
The very end.
Oh, does it?
The very end of the first game.
Really?
Yep.
OBKB then. Good for them.
The producers of the game said that they're working on their next game, and they did not say whether it's going to be Last of Us 3 or not. They said, a lot of people are clamoring for, a new game from them, but they didn't shoot it down whether or not they're making a Last of Us 3 or not.
It would have to be a prequel, because if you've played The Last of Us 2, you know what happens, and I'm not spoiling it for anyone. But
I was like, good, now I don't have to play the game.
Jeremy, just go to YouTube. Come on, buddy. You know better.
Speaking of finales, and I apologize, Brandon. I know you didn't care for the show, but my wife and I, we loved it. Poker Face, the finale of that came out.
Poker Face. Yeah, thanks. I've seen Columbo. All right, I'm good.
I'm catch up with that.
Yeah. No, I agree. That makes a lot of sense.
I actually enjoyed the
just
first
one
episode.
little thing that was confusing me, and maybe you could answer my question. That is like the end of every fucking episode of both Columbo and Poker Face.
It fucking dead on Columbo.
Funny thing, dead on Columbo and
shut up.
And essentially dead on the actress. What's her name?
Natasha Lyonne.
Natasha Lyonne.
You just gotta go a little higher.
Miss yeah.
I'm really confused about this. I mean, it's the same raspy shit.
Oh yeah, very similar. But we enjoyed it, and
like I said, quoting him from Princess Bride. Yes, you're very smart. Now shut up.
But the season finale, they wrap up one storyline, but definitely open it up for season 2. So it'll be
cool. So just more of her bouncing from town to town using her special observant ability to.
I hear there are a lot of
solve crimes and murders. Yeah.
There's cameos in every episode.
Why do I suddenly want to watch Highway to Heaven starring Michael Landon?
Well, I've only seen the first episode, but I want to continue watching it. It was just I was distracted.
Yeah.
How do you feel about formulaic shows that just pepper in guest stars? Because I just described a lot of detective shows from the 70s into the 80s and Poker Face. Yeah, listen, if anybody enjoys it, that's fine. I just I'm a little gobsmacked at how people are like swooning over it as if Ryan Johnson discovered fire. Like, no.
Oh, I totally agree that
so many of the detective shows that this is emulating completely, we just haven't seen in a long time because they gradually got phased out and replaced by procedurals.
Yeah, it's better than him doing another Star Wars movie.
Debatable. Maybe just on an even keel,
Sorry, that's just my opinion. I think he found his calling with mysteries. So,
I think even with The Last Jedi, he started with the mysteries because I was like, what the fuck did I just see? And I've never been able to solve it. So
why the fuck did I spend my money on this?
Yeah,
phenomenal. Time I have to account for when I die. Thanks, Ryan Johnson. You're the best at being the fucking worst.
I have to say, though, Ryan Johnson did make it so I don't have to defend Jar Jar as much. Like, the prequels have gotten so
it's not even so much that you have
hate.
to defend him as much. It's just Jar Jar's on no one's radar anymore.
Exactly. I'm just like, thank
it is.
you, fucking Ryan Johnson. And
it's like, yeah, Jar Jar Binks wasn't great, but you know what really sucked?
Have you seen on my feed?
It's like lighting a cherry bomb over there so nobody sees you playing with a sparkler. Nothing to see over here. Oh, loud noises. Bang.
Nothing to see.
Look, I'm writing my name with the smoke. No. Look at the cherry bomb.
For some reason on my feed, these videos of Mark Hamill have been popping up, him talking crap about the
shit about Ray. Yeah, that started popping up on mine too.
Well, Ray, but also the movies in general. Like he said he was arguing, I think, with Ryan Johnson about that Luke wouldn't give up. That's not how Luke is.
That was my argument too.
Yeah.
Why am I not surprised?
Yeah.
If anything, the story point from no, I don't even. It's just I can understand the story point of Luke feeling like he might have to do something about Ben and fucking up in that regard. But the character of Luke, he would actually be trying to atone for having done that by making sure that other people were trained well and being vigilant in that endeavor. I can't see him collapsing inward on himself and like I understand they're trying to draw a little bit of a parallel between he and Obi-Wan, how they both became like hermits. The difference is Obi-Wan wasn't like a hermit because he was like, I'm just going to stay away from everyone. He was legitimately like, I'm just going to stay here and watch this kid and make sure that he's okay. Luke was like,
I go off
I
and
fucked
hang
up
out with Leia.
and now I'm just going to go away and let the Jedi die. And I mean, listen, you can change the idea of Jedi and all that. That's fine. Like, make it more fluid and make it more accessible. That's okay. But within the first couple minutes of that movie where he chucks the lightsaber over his shoulder, I was like, oh, well, this is not going to be as good as I thought, I think. And yeah, and I know that there are a lot of people who love it. I don't understand.
Visually, I like it.
Yeah, it looks great, but if you turn the sound on, then you're like, oh no, garbage. no, nay. But the thing is, it's, there was a lot of potential there, and not like headcanon, nothing like that. It's just, if you are taking over and adding a chapter to a story, you can't be so disrespectful to say like, well, fuck everything that came before me. Let's just focus on this right now. Like, that is almost literally what that movie's saying. And I think it does a huge disservice to a lot of the work that so many other writers and directors had contributed to building out everything up to that point, as well as the audience itself. Like, I understand, like, there's this kind of feeling like, oh, you shouldn't cater to audiences. I 100% agree. Like, don't just do fan service and shit, but you have to like give a proper and decent story to really like truly earn any adoration from the fans for it. It shouldn't be based just on the fact that like, oh, well, this is already part of a story that you know and love, so just do whatever the fuck you want because you'll all eat it up anyway. And I mean, that was decidedly not the case.
That's the first movie, though.
What's that?
I feel like that was the first movie of the new trilogy.
No,
we see,
that was the second, wasn't he?
No. I'm saying like,
no, he's saying Force Awakens.
Was completely fan service.
Here's the thing. I think there was some fan service in it. However, it really does fall in line with exactly what George Lucas said in an interview years back, that it's very much like a poem, where you have stanzas and verses and you come back to a refrain. And that's why it's supposed to be cyclical. We see how Anakin starts and what he goes through, and then it circles right back to Luke and what he goes through, involving what had happened to Anakin before. And then the logical step from that point to end out the saga would be, we see the beginning of Rey and, everything that she goes through and how it's going to tie back to Luke. And when we get to that point where we think it's going to crest and fully connect, it's subversion for the sake of subversion. And I'm all for, zagging when the audience thinks you're going to zig, but like, it should have some semblance of familiarity with the, 7 movies that came before it. Not to say it should be homogenous at all. I don't mean that. Bring your own flavor to it, but build within that world. Make it make sense for the world that's been established. And Force Awakens, they were taking the pattern and starting it off again. And I think that's why J.J. Abrams was like, okay, well, I got it going. Here's your first part. Okay, kid, desert planet, some deep mystical power that they're connected to. They don't quite understand, and they need someone to kind of guide the way. What's that?
Dude that they meet like along the way that guides them a little bit dies. Yeah. See, that's the thing that bothered me about it. Like, I felt like I was saying the same, like, and I understand where you're coming from. Like, it was trying to set up something that Rian Johnson kind of was like, look that, and did his own thing with. But like, I don't know, part of me just did not enjoy like listen, the second movie is the place to like come in and do your own thing. That's exactly how it went with Empire, and that's why it's heralded as like one of the greatest yet spoiled twists of all time.
they were still following.
But they were still following
what had come
established
before
story
them.
beforehand. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you do your own thing, like you put your spin, your flavor on it, but it still needs to not just make sense for what informed it coming into it, but you have to have a logical conclusion that will be reached to in the next installment. And if you're not going to be the one directing it, you need to clear that path for the writers and director of that next / last installment. That's exactly how the first trilogy went down, and why it's still, regarded as so great. I think even with J.J. Abrams doing The Force Awakens and people complaining like, oh, it's this, that, and the other, it's just like this and it's just like that. Yeah, well, that's been a motif of Star Wars. So that was actually should have been expected, to be perfectly honest, and not because of J.J. Abrams, but because of Lucasfilm in and of itself.
Mm-hmm.
But when you come to that next thing, man, like to just absolutely throw the baby out with the bathwater and just say, nah, fuck all that, and completely shift it away from the ideas that have been established and been building towards. I don't get it. I really don't. And this is coming from somebody who, like, I like the movies. I'm not hardcore Star Wars books, comics, all the video games, and not that I have anything against anyone who's into all that, for real. Like, everybody has their fandom, and that's yours. Fucking go nuts. I'm not as mired in it, and I was upset. As somebody who enjoys, like, story craft, I could see what he was doing, subverting. He was trying to make people's expectations bucked completely. Like, oh, you thought you were going to get this, but this is what it is. There's a way to do that and still have it be entertaining and buildable upon. And I didn't catch that. He made it nigh impossible for somebody to continue on for what was seeded in the first movie of that last trilogy.
I mean, didn't he have what you call him? Oh God, can't remember his goddamn name. Adam Driver. I think I had it actually. Tyler Run. Like, everything, like, killed the old things. Like, basically.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, literally in the movie, like,
like, you gotta spell it out there.
Let the past die. Sometimes you have to kill it. It's like, dude, what?
Stop killing it. Why are you doing this?
Show me on the doll where Star Wars hurt you, bro. Like,
well, you make some excellent points, and that's I think why Mandalorian is such a huge success. It's
a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, totally, and it's totally going its own own route. But still very well established.
Oh yeah.
With everything that has happened in that world, and it's not trying to change or negate anything by its mere existence. It's not saying, oh, this isn't what you thought it was, based on things that you've known or saw years ago. It's not essentially insulting the audience by saying, like, oh, everything you thought, because that's exactly what you were told. Haha, that's wrong. Get all that out of your head, because now this is the new shit. It's like,
why was I so invested in this? Like, how am I
like,
about this? Or you gotta keep changing
that
shit.
And I'm not saying that as someone, like, it's like, oh, it's so deep rooted in nostalgia. I don't mean that at all. I just mean from storytelling standpoints. Like, you do not want to read a fucking book series and have it get to the 8th book of what's going to be 9 and have you like, oh yeah, so all that shit that you read in the other 7 books, fuck all that. It was useless. Thanks for buying my book, sucker. Yeah, exactly. It was so wrong, and here's the right shit. And then you get to the 9th book, and it's like, well, I mean, actually, some of the stuff was right. Just the stuff that doesn't make sense that I say again, just try to have fun with it, gang. Thanks. Enjoy the book. Wow.
And all of a sudden, Palpatine was back.
Like, if I described to you a book series, right? And the same shit that happened with a 9-volume book series, and the same shit happened with the 8th book that happened with the 8th movie in the Star Wars Skywalker saga, you'd be like, that sounds fucking terrible, and I don't even want to fucking start it.
True.
But why is that okay for movies? You see, you're subverting
somebody
the
saying-
audience's expectations. Nah, fuck all that. You know what the audience's expectation was? To be entertained by a franchise that they have loved for almost half a fucking century.
Well, it's the same exact thing that happened to Game of Thrones. Like, Game of Thrones was friggin' incredible, but then you get to the last 2 seasons, I don't even want to watch it again anymore.
I don't think that was like subverting, though. I think that was like, hey, this guy hasn't actually come up with like an ending.
It definitely
yet.
doesn't make me want to read the last book if he ever comes out with it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that. Like, I'm
Let's just not
over
compare
it with
Star
that
Wars
guy.
to Game of Thrones. Let's just not do that.
I thought we were just going to the next subject.
Yeah. Well, so see, keeping with Disney. I don't know if you heard, but Disney has eyes for Reddit.
Jesus. I did not
What
fucking expect that.
Fuck
What the
is
fuck, dude?
that?
Okay,
That
what
is
in
the thing of
name
nightmare.
Coraline is
Will you get that fucking picture off the screen?
Leo, let me correct you. Marvel has eyes on
kids,
Reddit.
Want to sell me your soul?
Is that Five Nights at Freddy, Mickey?
Oh, sorry, my pen slipped and I got your blood all over the tip. Now just sign right here.
Steven, who owns Marvel?
Disney.
Yeah. So it's the Disney lawyers that are going after Reddit. Well,
Yeah.
Oh,
more importantly,
the Ant-Man thing.
the admins of Reddit, and this is why it wasn't a user.
They shut down the subreddit.
Yeah.
Marvel spoilers.
I was part of it. I was
Same
in it.
here. Yep.
And I went to go check on it. I was like, oh shit.
Yep. Yeah.
Like,
You go to it.
thanks for the memories, kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not fucking around anymore.
Yeah. So if you haven't heard, apparently one of the admins, from what is reported, it looks like they leaked the Ant-Man 3 script before the movie came out.
Yep.
So it wasn't a user on the subreddit, which if that was, then it could have potentially been protected by
Copyright.
No, not
No,
copyright.
anonymity. Like they wouldn't be able to.
The new it went
because
to
it was user created as opposed to created by.
It's like a privacy.
It's in going through the Supreme Court right now. It's
so basically
whether it's
Disney,
okay for
Disney wants Reddit to give them as much information as they can about the moderator that allowed this Ant-Man script leak. It was a portion of the script, not the entire thing. It was approximately, was it 30 or 60? No, it was like 60 pages though. Like,
so basically, Reddit's going to give the person up. Disney's going to line them up against a small world.
I mean, here's the thing, maybe, but it's Reddit and Google, and it's possible. But at the same time, are they going to draw the line in the sand and say like, this is somebody who is a user that expected to have anonymity with our service? We can't just give you their identity. You know what I mean? Like,
you're
we'll
not
see
the
how it
government.
pans out. What's that?
You're not the government. We can't.
Yeah, exactly. Who do you think you are? The federal government? I laugh at you. That's what that sound was before I said I laugh at you. I'll do it again. But yeah, like, we'll see how it goes.
I will vote in your general direction.
You smell of elderberries. Neat. Wonderful. But yeah, so I mean, it's hard for me to be like, oh, come on, go get him, Disney. Like, yeah, you're a fucking multi-billion-dollar evil empire. Go fuck yourself.
Like, you
think
have
that
to
was
prove that it somehow damaged?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, why do you think that damaged the box office for Ant-Man? Because I mean, honestly, I went to go see it, and I enjoyed the movie. I really enjoyed the fact, and not spoiling anything. Although if you had been a member of Marvel Studios spoilers, you probably knew what happened already. But it's bookended very well, and it's mostly a straight up standalone story, which is a rare thing in the MCU nowadays. It really does not pull in other characters or anything like that from the other MCU movies. And I really appreciated the fuck out of that. And the last scene, it's not like dark or anything like that, but compared to the beginning versus the very end of it, there's such a shift internally for the character of Scott Lang. And it's not like a bad thing. He's not like all of a sudden like dark or evil, or he's, fucking vengeful, nothing like that. It's more of a hunky-dory, living his life. Oh yeah, I was an Avenger kind of guy, to get into the end of me. He's like, yeah, everything's great. I hope. Like it sounds like nothing, but it's actually a pretty big deal, because there's a tiny bit of ambiguity there. And once we've all seen it, I would love to talk about the symbolism of a particular thing at the very end of the movie. Because as soon as I saw it in the theater, I was like, that is so fucking subtly brilliant. It's actually like, oh, so Peyton Reed was really trying to be a fucking filmmaker here, and I appreciated it. But I can understand why a lot of other Marvel zombies out there didn't think it was the hottest thing since the first loaf of bread came out of an oven. I personally don't think that everything needs to be bombastic and connect like a fucking web out of Spider-Man's shooters to every other thing out there. We got enough with Kang's presence there just being that.
Spoiler, yeah. Kang's in it?
Oh, apparently we don't have a TV. Shut up, Leo. Oh, I'm sorry. The guy who also said he was a member of Marvel Studio Spoilers subreddit, right? Sorry, Leo. My mistake. Sorry, sir.
Next, you'll tell me MODOK's in it.
It's actually Modofk. It's a mechanized organism designed only for killing, so it's Modofk. Modofk. That's his name, Modofk. Just don't be a dick.
But I don't know how to.
Just don't be a dick.
Like the old saying.
That'll make more sense if you see Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
Yep.
Coming soon to a Disney Plus near you.
Yeah.
Are we still on the Disney kick, or we can?
No, I think we're done with Disney.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, guys.
So we talked a little bit about this on Splash Pages, but definitely want to get your everybody's thoughts on this about the new Lex Luthor.
It looks like a bald redhead. Okay, next question.
Michael
Kudlitz?
Yeah. From Walking Dead.
I like him.
From Southland.
He's definitely the scariest Lex Luthor we've had in TV and not TV, movies.
Bobby Beamer from Grosse Point Blank. Just me, huh? Okay, cool.
It's been a while since I've seen that movie.
He was like never mind. It doesn't matter. He's in Grosse Point Blank though. That's how I first became aware of him.
Yeah, for me it was Southland.
He made a cameo appearance in like the earlier seasons of CSI, like one episode. So
everybody's done an episode of either CSI or Law and Order.
It's true. I mean, I was in an episode of CSI.
Son of a bitch.
You were?
I got to get my contract fixed.
No, I've been in Vegas enough, though, you would think. Spent enough time with the fucking MGM. God damn it.
I know we just had the first episode of Superman and Lois,
which I watched right before this episode tonight.
Yeah. So he comes in later in the season, or was he in the first episode?
Oh, he's not in the first episode.
Okay.
So we'll get to him eventually, I suppose. Okay.
Yes. How was the transition in characters? I still need to watch the episode.
The transition in characters. What a wonderful question. I don't know what you mean by it, but it sounds nice.
Where they replaced one of the kids.
So you should say that next time. Honestly, the kid looks more like he could be the actual like fraternal twin / brother of the other kid. I find him to be a little bit more believable as his brother. That being said, the only real issue I had, and it's not the kid's fault at all, not his acting, nothing like that. They don't explain it. There's no in-story explanation as to why Jonathan looks different now, and that's fine. I said to Dara when it started, I was like, there was one of two ways they could go with this. Either just outright ignore it and like, hey, this is the kid playing him now, or they come up with some like in-story explanation after the whole inverse Superboy thing, and maybe Lara at the Fortress of Solitude like makes it look like his appearance is altered so nobody recognizes him as this like superpowered kid that came through another dimension. Went with option A, not option B. Good, clean, not convoluted. I get it. I respect the fuck out of it. However, if you were not aware that kid was replaced by this new actor and you started watching this episode, they just spend a couple of minutes between Jonathan and Jordan, and then they get to a point where it's their, this isn't a spoiler, it's their 16th birthday, they're twins, so it's their birthday, and they have a little shindig at the Kemp farm, invite friends and neighbors and stuff like that, and it's really nice, and it shows Jonathan, the new actor, like having a great time doing like the slow camera move, like, oh, everyone's having a nice wholesome party, and he's goofing off with his friends. To see those shots where he's like standing there with a couple of other kids and no Jordan there to like give context, you would literally have no fucking clue whatsoever why we are looking at this group of like 4 or 5 kids. Like, oh, cool. Just like a group of random teenagers at their birthday party. Glad that you spent the time to take that shot, I suppose. It was just a weird choice. They didn't spend enough time establishing him as the new player before that point. But otherwise, really good. There is some, you got to have it because it's on the CW. There's a little bit of that Smallville, somebody save me.
I don't trust you.
Melodrama. It's not even that. I will say they approach it better than Smallville. It doesn't feel as overwrought as like those old WBCW shows felt. But there's some other shit that goes down, both dramatically and something that's clearly going to be affecting them for the long haul, at least over the season. That was done very well and it's very interesting. So once again, they're doing something with this series that we have never seen in many, many, many other iterations of Superman before. And I really enjoy that. It's not, we're talking about subverting expectations, especially the first season of Superman and Lois. That is damn near like a college course on how to properly subvert an audience's expectations. I watched that season and they fooled my ass 3 fucking times with 2 characters. And I was simultaneously pissed off and giddy as fuck that they did it. Because my wife, you could ask her, she'll tell you like I'm insufferable to watch things with because I see the patterns. And that's why I'm able to pick up. She hates watching mysteries with me because I'm like, oh, this guy, that guy, they did it, and she's like, what? No. And then she gets to the end like, I fucking hate you. I'm like, yeah, remember, you don't have to spend the rest of your life with me. You get to. And
it was a choice, damn it.
And it's just with that first season, have we all seen it? Do we care about it?
Well, I've seen the first 2 seasons.
Okay. Well, in the first season, like they show you the bad guy, and then the bad guy straight out like that, they say his name and everything, and then you get to the point where you find a little bit more about the bad guy. You see his deal, and it's like, what the fuck? And then they say his real name, and you see who he really is, and you're like, what the fuck? And then they show you the real bad guy, and it's like, okay, sure, of course, you're a bad guy.
Actually, Leo ruined it for me last night on Splash Pages.
You're a fucking dickhead in the comic books. I get it. And then they're like, oh no, not quite what you think. And then it's like, oh, he's this, and it's like, oh, cool. So so we're just gonna see like the classic throwdown between these two. And they're like, oh no, he's not that guy. He's a new character, and this, what the fuck? And they made it work. Like, they seriously tricked me like 3 full fucking times, and it was done so well. I'm so mad that they pulled it off 3 fucking times. Like, it was great. It really was. And I've consistently enjoyed the show because of that. They've really taken it seriously, and it's fucking crazy how much they, even with being married, living on the Kent farm, and having 2 teenage sons, how they nail the character of Clark Kent, Superman, and Lois Lane in this show. They legitimately are like, oh, so this is exactly what Clark and Lois would be like, married with 2 teenage sons. Like, it feels like that. And Tyler Hoechlin is having the fucking time of his life playing Superman and Clark Kent. You can see it. He is truly enjoying it. And the joy that he actually is able to convey as Superman is every bit what was missing from the movies that came out over the past like several years.
I was actually kind of shocked when they first said that he was cast as Superman, because I had known him as the Teen Wolf kid, the bad guy in Teen Wolf. He was kind of like the bad boy.
Yeah, I
but he did well. Did well in the Flash and all those
Supergirl,
crossovers. Yeah. So, very good choice.
It's kind of funny too, because he's the second person to be cast as Superman or Clark Kent who actually had green eyes and not blue eyes.
Oh.
The first person being Tom Welling on Smallville. Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, the only, I mean, some people are like, oh, he's wearing a padded suit, but it's like, you know what? Who fucking cares, man? He looks like Superman. Like, does everyone who plays a superhero have to seriously be like bulked up and shredded? That is no way to live your life. You know, like that's insane.
That's what makes the cartoons so stupid. You know, all the characters are like huge, and it's like Superman wouldn't be that big. You know, it's
I mean, it is what it is. But my one thing with his physical appearance, his presentation, is just like, I wish he would shave his face a bit more. Like Superman with the 5 o'clock shadow and Clark Kent with the 5 o'clock shadow, that doesn't quite work for me. I feel like he should like use his heat ray vision to zoom, like clean shave his face when he goes out to like actually be Superman, and it makes sense for him to have that like growth when he's Clark to throw people off a little bit more. Like, that makes perfect sense. But when you both have the 5 o'clock shadow, all I have to say to that is, come on, son.
A little presentation time.
Yeah.
Well, it's not about presentation, but, throwing people's, he's literally shown up in Smallville as Superman. And there are people who know Clark from like childhood.
And I'm like, to seen him with his glasses off once or twice.
They might just be humoring him.
Yeah. I don't.
Well, the whole.
They're all just like, yeah, we know.
Yeah. There was a scene where, like, with Lana, and it was like, how the hell do you not know he's not Superman? Like,
again, they could all just be humoring him. They're like, we figured this out a while ago. We just figured it'd be sad if you knew.
Listen, if you were pulling off the same kind of thing, that like changing his own like stature, his own physicality, the way that Christopher Reeve did in Superman the movie, then I'd be like, yeah, you know what? I get it. He stoops. He makes himself smaller. He wears clothes that are size too big, give him kind of a goofy look. He parts his hair on a completely different side of his head. He wears these big glasses. He speaks in kind of, like, hey, he's not like 100% confident in the words coming out of his mouth. I totally get that. But that is not the case. I will say he plays Clark exactly like the nice kid from Kansas that he should be. And that is saying something. And I think he pulls off the Superman stuff very well. The whole like, don't worry, it'll be okay. I mean, his voice isn't as deep as mine just was right then, but same shit, different smell. You get it.
I don't know if any of you watched The Good Doctor.
No.
Anybody?
I have seen The Bad Doctor.
Yeah.
I've seen a few of those in my life, but
pretty good show. But Meg and I were watching this week's episode, and the character
pilot.
Yeah, it's a backdoor pilot. Yeah. It was.
I saw the commercial. I was like, oh, wow, that's not obvious at all. And
what's
then
what's the show they're shooting for? The mediocre doctor? Like,
The Good Lawyer. So the good
sorry,
doctor,
really?
the look on his face.
Yeah.
Yeah, welcome to my, like, that was the expression I had. And then I was like, oh, look, in August they said that there's going to be a spinoff. I wonder if this is setting up for the spinoff.
Yeah. So the Good Doctor, he's a doctor with autism, and
I think he's a doctor who's good. Oh, so it's not just a clever title.
He turns out to be a really, really good doctor. But he has special needs with autism, and
so another fine program where autism or neurodivergence is a superpower.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yes, it makes your whole life a whole lot better.
Yeah. My life has been super easy because I have ADHD, and I refuse to take the test my doctor wants me to take to see if maybe I have autism. And why? Because he asked me if I ever have any problems with clothes or fabrics, anything touching me, and my answer was no. I mean, the only thing that really ever truly bothered me was my socks, but I have a system for that. And then he asked me to explain it, and I realized the system wasn't really the important part there. It was the fact that I had the system to explain how and why I wear my socks in a very certain way. I wear them inside out, and when they're crew socks or long socks, I actually fold them back down so it doubles up on the ankle.
Inside out? That feels so weird.
No, are you kidding me? The fucking soft part of the sock is on the outside, and the seam is on the inside. So I flip it inside out, so the soft part is against my foot, and the seam never fucking catches on my goddamn toe when I'm walking around wearing fucking shoes all day.
Yep.
I have to have long socks that they stretch.
This is my system, Jeremy, not yours. You can do whatever the fuck you want with your socks.
I don't like your socks.
So anyway,
awesome.
With the Good Doctor, his superpower is like, when there's like a big problem.
Convenience.
What's that?
Plot convenience.
Yeah, exactly. No, his superpower is like he
can fly through space for 12 hours and then shoot through the fucking stratosphere and land on his feet with his bat cape.
Exactly.
And he's fine.
No. So like,
does sound fun.
When there's like a very
really fucking stupid, but fun.
Will you let me finish here?
Maybe.
Hold on.
So when there's like a very difficult medical issue, he like looks off into the distance and his like mind like pieces together everything. He's like sees it in 3D, like all the veins and everything, like like human insides, and he like pieces things together like in his brain. So that's his superpower. So
autism.
Yeah, but it's okay. So anyway. He has a issue where he's being sued, and he goes to a lawyer's office, and he runs into this woman that's working out of a closet, and turns out she has OCD. Like he really
Does she really have OCD though? Because I mean,
Carrie
so
says,
this is going to be.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yo. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. No.
I was just saying, Carrie says, so House meets Will Graham, but isn't an asshole. Will Graham is the character from Hannibal / Red Dragon. right?
No, I don't know.
Yes.
I thought Will Graham was the doctor in House.
Yeah.
No, that's House. His name is literally House. It's
yes.
House.
No, I meant the actor who plays.
The actor
Hugh
plays
Laurie.
House. No, that's Hugh Laurie from the
okay.
famous British comedy duo Fry and Laurie.
Yeah.
Oh.
Or Laurie and Fry. Yeah, Stephen Fry and Hugh Laurie. They used to use
I
stuff.
should know this.
So
Now you do.
just to finish this real quick. So he sees this lawyer working out a closet. He knows she has like systems for things and like, you know, she has issues with obviously OCD. And like he says, you need to be on my case. You need to run my case. So they're discussing the problem, and she does the same thing. Like she like looks into the sky and like she's piecing things together for the case. And I'm like, holy shit, this is going to be a pilot.
OCD is like debilitating.
Yeah,
This is what they're deciding to do.
Yeah, I don't agree with any of what you just said at all. As a concept,
it becomes
as entertaining program, nothing. That sounds terrible.
Oh, man.
I'd rather watch Alphas from
I wish I
Sci-Fi
could see
again.
in 3D and stuff. Like,
okay, so yeah, when that happened, I'm like, okay, yeah, this is going to be a pilot, but yeah, it's very
I don't think that's the main concern with what we're talking about. Like, it's going to be a pilot. No, like I would have watched it and be like, oh, this is like wildly inaccurate and borderline offensive at the very least.
Okay, so that was, I totally get that. But
here's my new black friend. He's really good at basketball. And my Chinese friend who's great at math.
Yeah,
and my Irish friend who's he's actually drunk right now. You know what I mean? Like, why don't let's go with all the stereotypes.
Yeah.
I bet you if you drop out the matchbox, you can count how many matches are still in the box.
This is gonna totally like ruin like
if you ask the good doctor how much a Hershey's bar is he gonna say $100?
Well, her main problem is everything needs to be in threes. So when she's in court, the posing lawyer squeaked his chair, and she's like, "Okay, you got to do it 2 more times." She's telling it in herself. She's like
pinching her nipples while she said it, like twice, 2 more. Oh, do it.
No, she like stops her train of thought, and like he notices that. So like next day in court, she's having a really good argument, and he does it again, and the other lawyer is like, "Don't win like this. Don't be a dick."
Can I speaking of good arguments, can I just say what a bang up job you are doing explaining how this show is
why
good?
I didn't say it was good. I said it.
I said it was a show.
It's a show, and it's a virtual pilot.
I editorialized there, and I apologize. Yeah. I'm sorry.
But we do enjoy the good doctor, so I have high hopes for the good lawyer.
Yeah, that doesn't sound great either. Just put that out there. It doesn't sound good. It's like that sounds like it's right up there with The Predator. And no, thank you. The only one who can save us is this boy with magic powers. He has magic powers, well, he has autism, and in movies, that's the same thing. All right, if you say so, I guess. Oh.
God, there was a show on Netflix that was exactly like that as well.
Which one? There's like 3 of them.
Oh God, no, there's more. That's scary.
I know.
I can't remember the name of the one that I'm thinking of. The
one with the family there, and the little brother has autism.
No, Atypical was actually done really well.
No, I like it.
That show is done really well, and they actually did have actual actors and actresses who were autistic in it. They never approached it disrespectfully whatsoever. But like, I mean, more shows should be like that.
Oh yeah.
Instead of
nobody has a special power.
Weaponizing somebody's fucking difficulties in life.
There's a great indie movie called Diffability Hollywood. And it's goes over how disabilities within Hollywood are treated like superpowers.
Yeah, Ben Stiller commented on that in Tropic Thunder. Simple Jack. That's exactly what that segment of the movie was. Like, it's commenting on those types of movies being done and how actors and actresses do them because they like cross their fingers like, this will get me the Oscar.
Yep.
This will do it.
Yeah.
Oh my.
For some reason, I've been getting a lot of that across my stream saying that he doesn't apologize for the movie. And I'm just like...
Say that again? What?
The Tropic Thunder, Ben Stiller's been coming out
shouldn't-
saying he
okay,
doesn't
I mean-
apologize for the movie. I just don't know why anybody was looking for him to apologize for
Oh,
it.
first of all, it's a weird rehash because like there were some people several years ago who were saying the same. It was the same exact thing, and with Ben Stiller popping up again, he was like, "I'm still not going to apologize for this."
Yeah, I
Like,
don't understand.
Here's the thing. I understand that on the face of it. Like if you were looking at superficiality, like face value, to just see what happens in that movie, especially with Robert Downey Jr.'s character, I can understand how that would be upsetting 100%.
Oh, yeah.
However,
No context.
the context in which the entire story and that it takes place, in which that character dwells, it is a full-blown commentary on that type of shit in Hollywood. You know, it's not being done to be insulting.
He wasn't dressed. This wasn't a minstrel show.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like the context is super important on that. Like
and it helps too that the kid playing Al Pacino in it, calls him out in the movie for doing the shit he's doing. Even at one point says like, "Don't do that, Mr. Bojangles shit with me." It's very much not making. It's not punching down. It's punching up. It's saying like, this is unacceptable, and it's fucking insane, stupid, dangerous, and ridiculous that so many of you out there in the industry. This was for the industry. So ridiculous that so many of you out there think this is okay. And I think that anybody, once again, I understand on the face of it, if you are just taking it on surface level, how that would be upsetting just to see it. But to watch it from beginning to end and see how preposterous, ridiculous, and dangerous that way of thinking and behaving is. I mean, like, seriously, the movie speaks for itself. It honestly doesn't need me to defend it.
It's one of Tom Cruise's best roles.
It's one of the it's such a deep lampooning of Hollywood altogether. And it's fucking even funnier that so many people in Hollywood were just like, "Oh, this movie is so great. It's so funny." It's like, he was making fun of you the whole time, right? Like, and not in a nice way, like, at all. And, but I truly don't think, from having seen it, a few times since it had been released in theaters, I don't think that it is something that should be just viewed as a comedy to entertain you on the level of like Dumb and Dumber.
Well, I would hope people are understanding the message.
No, that's the problem.
That's the problem. Like, no. You're being too generous when it comes to people.
Well, no, I have high expectations a lot of the time for the
I've
people
given up
around.
on that.
Yeah.
And no, I have recently, well, not recently, but have lost a lot of faith in the fellow man.
Yeah, well, it's just what Yo-Yo said. Like, there's not a lot of people out there that are either able or willing to absorb the subtlety in subtext and context involved from beginning to end of that movie. I mean, it starts off straight away with mocking all of that shit in that industry. And it never lets up. And it goes full meta, especially when Robert Downey Jr.'s character describes who he is in the movie. Because if you listen to him, he's actually saying he's Robert Downey Jr. playing that dude who's disguised as a dude. You know, it's knuck and futz, and it's really far better than it had any right to be, and I just think that more people should sit down and give it a chance, like laugh, but understand it's also there to make you think as well. You know, I'm not saying it's like the deepest think piece on the face of the planet, but it's got more depth than the fucking puddles we usually get when it comes to comedy and action movies as they're released in theaters. You know, and I think a lot of people got the surface level jokes, and that's why it was so big, because it was good on the belly laughs. But if you've ever seen the vast majority of Ben Stiller's filmography, I mean, he leans towards like darker think pieces. That should tell you something right there. That's my 2 cents.
See, my thing is, I've seen people talking about it, but like on Instagram, because I don't go on Twitter or anything like that, because
you're better off, man. That's a hellscape.
Damn right.
But like every comment that I see is people being very confused by anybody saying anything about it. Like,
it came out of nowhere again.
Like, this movie's perfectly fine. Have you actually seen the movie? Like, what are people complaining about? Like, every comment, universally, like, in like no color barrier either. Like, everybody just is very confused from what I've read.
Yeah, I mean, it's nah. You know, I'm not gonna even open that can of worms. I was gonna mention another movie, but I'm not going to, because
we can mention it later.
Time? Yeah, we'll talk about it later.
Speaking of Hollywood, and you mentioned it earlier, Brandon, has anyone seen the Oscars on Sunday?
I saw what I'm going to watch, Phil.
I didn't watch the Oscars, but I certainly kept my phone on refresh so I could see winners as they popped up before I went to bed.
And no one got slapped this year, so I mean
that's a positive.
Well, the funny thing about that was at the very end, Jimmy Kimmel walked off stage, and there was a little prop that says ceremonies without incident, and then there's like a counter.
That's
so
funny.
He popped it from 0 to 1, so kind of like Simpsons style. So
actually is pretty funny. Yeah, I mean, I think we all know at this point, you know, Everything Everywhere All at Once, like, won 7 out of 11 awards it was nominated for, actors and actresses and all the other fun stuff. Jamie Lee Curtis won Best Supporting Actress, and
first Oscar.
And I don't agree with it whatsoever.
Yeah,
I love Jamie Lee Curtis.
Look.
Oh yeah, that was distasteful as well, I must say.
Sorry, what was it?
Angela Bassett. Her non-reaction, I guess you could say. You know, everybody stood up and applauded for Jamie Lee Curtis when she won the Oscar, except for, well, I shouldn't say except for, but certainly not Angela Bassett. And not only was she not standing, but she like wasn't even, she looked like somebody pissed in her Cheerios. Like,
oh wow.
And here's the thing, Angela Bassett is an amazing actress.
Yeah.
And the fact that she was nominated for her role in Black Panther Wakanda Forever still baffles me. I mean, here's the thing. She was the best performance in that entire movie. But that entire movie all together was like 2 hours and 21 minutes of
CGI.
It was okay. You know,
I think my favorite. Oh, go ahead.
Well, no, what I was going to say though is, like, aside from that, and I'm not disparaging her performance or anything like that. Like I said, she was great in that movie.
Better movies,
but she has been better. Well, I mean, here's the thing: if we're gonna get upset, let's talk about how the fact she was fucking robbed when she played Tina Turner and What's Love Got to Do with It.
Fuck? Yeah, right.
She was nominated then, and she fucking lost to Holly Hunter in The Piano. Like, arguably, I would say that Angela Bassett did a better job in What's Love Got to Do with It than Holly Hunter on the piano. And I love Holly Hunter as well. I have for years, ever since Raising Arizona.
If you guys have seen 9-1-1 on Hulu, she does a really good performance on that too.
I don't doubt it. I mean, she does a great performance and everything, but I don't think that her performance was actually. I don't want to get into Angela Bassett. Jamie Lee Curtis, I don't understand how she fucking won, other than the fact that she's been acting for decades, and it was like her time, because that's how it felt to me. And
that kind of just belittles the idea that this award means anything, in my opinion.
Yeah. Like, oh, cool. So the lady who's been acting for decades, whose father was an Academy Award nominated actor and mother was an Academy Award winning actress, finally won an Academy Award. And here's the thing. Finally. All right, great. Oh, yeah. I agree, Tom. Well, actually, was she eligible for an Oscar for that? Wasn't that an HBO movie?
I don't even know.
I think it was.
Yeah.
So that would have. It's sort of like the same thing as when she played the matriarch of the Jackson family in the Jacksons. That was ABC. Amazing performance, but unfortunately, television. Especially at that point in time, you're not going to be eligible for an Oscar. Emmy at best. But Jamie Lee Curtis. I really truly enjoyed Everything Everywhere All at Once. And the night of the Oscars, Dara and I rewatched that movie for funsies. Like, let's watch it again. And fresh off of that, finishing the movie, going to bed, waking up the next morning and seeing that Jamie Lee Curtis won Best Supporting Actress for her role in that, over, never mind actresses from other projects, Stephanie Sue.
Stephanie Sue.
Yeah, Stephanie Sue. I was like, did I get her first name right? Stephanie Sue was one of the other actresses nominated for Best Supporting Actress from the same movie, who plays the daughter in Everything Everywhere All at Once, who gave an incredible performance throughout that entire movie. And Jamie Lee Curtis won over her. I don't get it. I really don't. I mean, like, logically, I don't get it. Everything in front of your face. No, like, oh, I loved her in Halloween. I loved her in Trading Places. I loved her in Prom Night. I loved her in A Fish Called Wanda. None of that shit. Just what's on the screen. You, honest to God, think that Jamie Lee Curtis's performance in that movie was better than Stephanie Sue's performance in that movie? What? I really just don't understand it. I don't understand how you can, like, honestly do that and then look people in the eye and be like, that's who we voted for. Like,
see, I agree with you, Brandon. What they should have done, and they haven't done this in the history of Oscars, I don't think. What they should have done was give the Oscar to both Sue and Curtis, in my opinion.
No. Why? Jamie Lee Curtis did not deserve that Oscar. That's the point I'm making. Why would they give her the Oscar? Because
Brandon's kind of like saying that this was a gimme to her.
It was a farce.
She's been
like, oh, you've been doing this for so long. You haven't won anything.
Here, you deserve this.
That makes more sense now.
Yeah. Once again, like, I have to reiterate. No, I love Trading Places, Prom Night, Fish Called Wanda,
True Lies,
Freaky Friday,
True Lies. Oh my God.
None of that bullshit. All right. Based only, not even primarily, only on the merits of her performance in that movie. I cannot honestly believe that one could look at her performance versus Stephanie Sue's performance and say that Jamie Lee Curtis was the stronger performance out of the two of them. I don't see that. Like, and I understand people have loved Jamie Lee Curtis for a long time, and that's certainly going to tint and tinge their opinion of it. But I look at it just on the merits of what was in front of me. And as fun as she clearly had while making that movie, I didn't see a whole hell of a lot of character development for her. I didn't see a wide range of emotions being displayed. Stephanie Sue sold being hurt, vulnerable, dangerous, sad, maniacally happy, all throughout the same movie, wearing regular clothes and some of the most ridiculous outfits you've ever seen, and still being able to make you take her seriously the entire time. I didn't get that from Jamie Lee Curtis's performance. I'm not saying there's a problem with her performance. I'm just saying it's nowhere near as complex or layered as what Stephanie Sue had been given and molded into. And, you know, I think that it was just genuinely, oh, you've been doing this since you were a kid, and you're a Hollywood legacy, and we want to give you some flowers now because, you know, you've been doing it for a while. So here you go. Like, great.
Don't they have an award for that though?
Lifetime Achievement Award? Yeah.
Award. Yes.
But here's the thing, like, it's like they definitely looked at it. They definitely had to have looked at it and been like, this is her. She's older. She may be getting close to, retiring at some point. You never know. There may not be very many chances for her to try to win an Oscar again. Stephanie Sue, they were like, oh, she's young. She'll have more chances. The same bullshit that the Academy pulled when it was Michael Caine for Best Supporting Actor in Cider House Rules versus Haley Joel Osment for Best Supporting Actor in The Sixth Sense. Yeah, right. I've seen both movies, both very different, and I understand the criteria, all that. There was never a moment while watching The Cider House Rules that I didn't think to myself that I wasn't acutely aware of the fact that I was watching Michael Caine play a doctor in Maine.
Yep.
The Sixth Sense, that little boy made you genuinely believe that he was horrified and frightened by the things he was seeing and couldn't understand. And it's incredible to see in real life that young boy completely different from how Cole Sears was in that movie.
Yeah.
That young boy should have won the Oscar, but they gave it to Michael Caine because it was the same thing. Oh, how many chances is he going to have to be up for this again? That boy is so young. He'll have plenty of opportunity to win one of these at some other point in his life.
Yeah. And
that's bullshit.
Changed his career,
Yeah. Absolute bullshit. And I understand, like, we're talking about a big difference in age in both of those scenarios, but the principle remains the same.
You should be like more impressed with what the younger was able to do. Personally,
yeah.
Real.
Like if you want to talk about like acting range, it's like it should be merit based, not
the scene that kid that Haley Joel Osment has towards the end of that movie with Toni Collette in the car, where he tells her what he can do. He finally tells her that, and
I'm getting chills right now.
Yeah, and the both of them together, like, just both start crying, and it's it's scary for the both of them, but at the same time, you can almost literally see like a weight lift from both of them by doing it, and it's cathartic. I watched Michael Caine's character die accidentally by breathing in too much ether. Like, cool. Great acting. You closed your eyes while facing a fucking wall with a mask on. Outstanding work, Mikey.
He's training Spider-Man.
So,
speaking of Spider-Man, oh my God, did you see the picture of Andrew Garfield?
Well, not just the picture. I mean, that happened at the Academy Awards.
Yeah.
So there was something I wanted to mention with you guys.
Well, hold on. Hold on. I was just
actually, Steve was trying to cut in. So Leo, you hold on. Steve, go.
Thank you. There was one thing that I was really excited for, and just it happened earlier, but at the very end, we got it like at D23 early, like last year, but it was kind of like full circle moment. So, like,
I thought you were gonna talk about Little Mermaid.
No.
Oh God, I love that trailer. It was fucking amazing.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not trying to be like, I'm not saying this in a skeevy way. That young woman playing Ariel is absolutely beautiful. Holy shit. Like, she is like adorable. I just want to pinch her cheeks. Like, look at you, Little Mermaid.
How do we go from talking about the ultimate redemption story to talking about Little
How's it
Mermaid?
a redemption?
Wait, hold on. What's
Do
the
you know
ultimate?
who we are?
Hold on. Wait. What's the ultimate redemption story?
Yeah, why is he being redeemed?
He's talking about Andrew Garfield being noticed.
No. Shut up.
Thank you.
No, Steven, what's the ultimate redemption story?
Because his movies were Temple of Doom and Goonies, and then he, Encino Man, and then he hasn't done anything since then but like stunt work, and then he comes back for Everything Everywhere All at Once, and he's getting so much accolades and awards.
How's that a redemption?
Because he wasn't recognized for Goonies or Temple of Doom. He was just kind of like,
He was recognized for.
I mean, what do you?
I don't see how he wasn't recognized for those movies.
Yeah,
I mean, that's for a while. That's all people. That's the only thing people knew from.
It's literally the only reason people recognize them.
Yeah.
Movie traps.
For the 80s and 90s kids in us, it's like a redemption story.
I got to have lunch with them. It was the
how-
coolest thing in the world for me.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. I don't.
We didn't
Words
say
are
but
hard.
like 2 words to each other, but like
Words
it
are
was so much
hard.
fun.
Yeah, I mean,
And it
I
gets
wouldn't
picked
call it a
apart.
redemption story. I'd call it a comeback.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
Like I said, words are hard.
Nothing
she's
like what Kim Kardashian had at all.
No.
I will milk this cow for all it's worth.
It's always going to make me laugh.
Words
You
are
see
hard.
In the video on her back, she got all that. Okay, I think you get it.
Words are hard, and I choose the wrong word, and it gets picked apart.
No, we wanted
didn't get picked apart.
We wanted the definition. We're seeking
Yeah,
the
no,
definition.
See, I'm smiling. So
We're like
it's a good
pigs
thing.
searching for a truffle, rooting around looking for
Oh,
the fucking
jeez.
common thread here. That's all, man. We're here.
Now,
Help us help you.
now let me get one more joke, and then the floor is Leo's. Isn't it good to see Vigo the Carpathian finally get an Oscar?
I have no idea. What
I
the
didn't
fuck
get
you
that one.
mean.
There was a joke floating around after the Oscars with Vigo holding Oscar, and they said finally Vigo gets an Oscar.
I get it because you explained the meme, I guess, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah. Anyway.
Good stuff. Powerful stuff. Leo.
Yeah, the floor is yours.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the nipple mobile?
Okay, so the Spider-Man thing passed. But so
That's not
Nipple.
Spider-Man's mobile.
It's got a nipple right in the front.
so
So look at
There it
the
is.
first
oh
the
my
first
God.
bat nipple we ever saw, King.
Well, so this is the Batmobile from the Flash movie.
Nipple mobile.
This
Has
is-
anyone heard the set like a
Hey, it's my turn now.
Petite?
I mean, that looks awfully familiar.
Not taking
I mean,
his time. He lost Spider-Man.
No,
Yeah, so
I appreciate the branded hubcaps
so-
on it.
So this is a 1/7 scale.
it's Batman related. What I was trying to say. But
Okay, hold on. Let me finish first. So this is a
Leo's
1/7.
already ordered 5.
No, so this is the thing. All pre-orders are limit 1 per household. Pre-orders have sold out just about everywhere.
Wow.
I never understand
Womp
that. Like, if they're pre-orders, wouldn't they? These are already like, hey, these people are gonna buy this no matter what. Let's make this many. We can keep printing them as long
probably
as
You
people keep
control the
ordering.
supply, then you can
Yeah.
ask more when they demand it.
Well,
Okay.
Yep.
Listen, we'll go over the principles.
Well, I
of
know how
fucking
the
marketing and
scalpers are
business.
thinking about it and
Well,
stuff.
here-
But
here's
I'm
the thing:
just
is
like,
it
as-
comes
as-
out. It comes out.
Wait, hold
next
on,
month.
Jeremy. Don't you run a fucking page on Facebook
Yes.
where people buy and sell collectible shit all the time?
Yes, but I want to be able to buy everything at below retail.
Don't make him pull this show over. Thanks, Jeremy.
Okay,
Help me,
so
help me God, I will
this
hit you
here's
with my ring hand.
so this is made by McFarlane Toys. Like I said, pre-order only. Pre-orders have sold out everywhere except the McFarlane store itself. It's being sold through Amazon, Target, Entertainment Earth, and GameStop. It's only $70.
Only.
that's not bad.
Only? Oh, man.
Only.
That's not bad, I have to say. Have you seen the $50 Millennium Falcon? Jesus Christ, it's like this big.
Oh, I have it.
Does it take back credit card?
By the way,
that tracks.
This is awesome. The Millennium Falcon.
It looks really cool,
it's
but
the
at
power of
$50
the Millennium
price point,
Falcon in the palm of my hand.
Oh, it's super
I feel
detailed.
like Dr. Octopus.
But so this here, like I said, 1/7 scale is 22 inches long.
see
That's
that
what she said. No wait.
at $70. That's
Yeah.
a decent amount.
I'm looking
of
on
plastic.
Amazon. I don't see this.
If you go to the McFarlane store, it has a link to the Amazon listing, and it says
Christ, you have to, it's a
Pre-order
fucking
sold out.
puzzle wrapped in an enigma, stored in a riddle. Christ on a cracker.
So speaking of Batman, I don't know if anyone saw it in the group chat, but Andy Muschietti, who directing The Flash, Muschietti, thank you. Took to Instagram today and took a video of like a 45-second video of the score. He was teasing a tease of the score for The Flash, and it was from Benjamin Wallfish. And it was he was doing like something for the 89 Batman that we're gonna see. But it sounds like I know it's Wallfish's score, or Wallfish. Sorry if I'm butchering the name.
I don't know who you're talking about. What?
That's the composer. It's the composer for The Flash, Brandon. But he was teasing, giving us a tease of his score for the movie, and it was the Batman theme, Elfman's Batman theme, because obviously Elfman isn't doing the theme, so they're paying tribute somewhat. I posted the link. Obviously, we can't play it because of copyright, but if you guys have Instagram,
but I mean, I will say, like, not surprising. They literally have Michael Keaton as Batman in the movie. You know, it'd be weirder if they didn't use that theme at all.
It sounds.
I thought he was Thomas Wayne. No.
Oh my God!
No, I was just kidding. Just kidding.
Well, no, I can do that to me.
I saw the eye twitch. I was like, no.
It has a little
I gotta
bit
get better at that. My poker face is so bad.
It has a little bit of a twist to it, what I'm trying to say, but it's really interesting. But I want to hear it like
the party remix. Wow, 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 wow.
More like a bat dance type of thing. Bat dance.
Oh God, it starts breaking out the Sam Storm.
I'm Batman. I'm Batman. Let's get nuts. I'm Batman. Yeah, I can't wait to hear it. Remix.
Well, what I was trying to say was on Instagram, it doesn't do it justice. You'd have to hear it like in the theater. He was trying to say
Dolby surround sound.
Yes.
Do they have it on vinyl? That's the only way to really listen to music.
To get the true recording sound.
I don't care. This is how they meant it to sound. I don't think that's the case, actually. Like, they wanted it to sound like fucking lines cut in a wax disc. No.
No, I know you were trying to. You like the Flash, Brandon. You were.
I love the Flash. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no. Honestly, like, I get it, and it makes perfect sense that they're kind of doing a reprise of the Batman theme for the Flash movie. I mean, Danny Elfman did as much in Justice League when Joss Whedon brought him in to do the theatrical cut. He got the Batman theme right in there. You guys don't remember it? It's when they're on the roof of the Gotham City Police Department, and Batman jumps down from, like, whatever, the little water tower on the top, and you get the dun 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 dun, and he jumps down. Much like you know that Superman's theme was used in that as well when he's fighting Flash in super speed. You get like a kind of what I think of as the bizarro version of John Williams' theme. It's very tinny. It's a lot of horns. and it's played with a little bit of an echo, so it gives a sort of creepy, ethereal vibe to it because Superman is clearly trying to murder everyone who's in the proto Justice League. Good times. Great stuff.
You mentioned something about Zack Snyder earlier, Brandon.
Yeah. He posted something on Twitter. Where he was like, "Hey everyone, keep your eyes peeled between
what's that all about?
April 28th and April 30th." I'm like, so April 29th? Why don't you just say that, you fuckwit?
For those of us who don't have Twitter anymore,
but it's like a video and it shows like Darkseid from Zack Snyder's Justice League, and it's like hashtag full circle, and of course all the Snyder cults is like, "This is the announcement. They're going to finally sell it all to Netflix." And it's like, no, that's not it. And they're like, well, it could be a comic sequel, and like, or it could be a fucking watch party that he does for Zack Snyder's Justice League, because that's kind of like the same thing he did before. So he's like, hey, watch this movie with me. We'll have a lot of fun, and it'll also give him an opportunity, hopefully, to say to all of his fans, like, yeah, so it's really nice to just look at this last piece that I was able to do for these characters in that universe, and now I'm having a lot of fun doing my own thing over at Netflix and having nothing at all to do with any of the DC movies now or moving forward. Just nip it in the bud, please, for the love of Christ, because it's getting ridiculous. Like, they're already, like, seriously foaming at the mouth, like, this is it, the announcement. They're gonna sell the Snyderverse to Netflix. And like, you idiots have no fucking idea how anything works. It's like I've said it before. It's like fucking a goddamn dream board. They just put this shit up and look at it like, if I think about it hard enough, it'll manifest.
It'll work. Reality works that way.
We got the Snyder cut, didn't we? It's like, yeah, you did. You got the Snyder cut, but like, it's the fucking marshmallow test. You give a fucking 5-year-old a fucking big, gooey, squishy looking marshmallow. Looks fucking delicious, right? Then you say, you can have this marshmallow. But if you wait an hour, I'll come back and give you 2 more of the same big marshmallows, and you can have 3. And they go, okay. And then you walk out of the room, and within 10 seconds, they have the giant fucking marshmallow, and it's like, oh, okay, well,
that's 4 marshmallows.
Okay, you got your thing, and then they're like, but I want the other 2. It's like, no, you don't understand. I told you could have the 1. That doesn't mean you get the other 2, because you didn't appreciate the 1 I gave you, but I still want the 2. Well, you're not going to get them. I want the 2. And that's what the Snyder cultists are doing. They're stamping their feet like, I don't care if you gave me the 1 marshmallow. I want the other ones now. But that's not the deal. That's not how it works, you fucking children. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying. Whoa.
They're a bunch of fucking children.
Gesundheit, I think. Or
hiccup.
Hiccup tight. Comes out loose, I guess. No? Yes, no? Okay, great.
Well, it is late, so we should wrap things
Shazam
up.
Comes out tomorrow.
Yes, it does.
Hell yeah.
John Wick 4, I think. No, that's next week.
That's next week.
What's
Yeah.
that?
John Wick 4.
Yeah, John Wick 4, sure.
I hear there's not going to be a John Wick 5, though.
Thank God.
I thought there was going to be 6 of them.
Oh,
There's going to be a TV show.
I
called
saw
Ballerina.
something, yes.
Oh my
No.
God.
Kinda like
fucking
Highlander.
What?
It's
I
kinda
heard
like
Highlander. That got my attention. I was like, Highlander? Somebody said Highlander.
No, for each
I didn't say it was
state-
going to be a good kind of like Highlander. I just said it's kind of like Highlander.
Fair enough. Yeah, it's like Highlander Endgame. Like,
What is it?
do
The
we
state-
need a 4th movie? I don't know, pal.
The sky has turned green.
How do you make sequels to a movie that's tagline is there can be only one? I'm perplexed by you.
There were 6 other ones we didn't know about.
I showed my wife the movie
But the
Highlander.
Bottom of the
quickening
drawer. We
happened.
didn't-
I showed Dara Highlander, and
all
she really
there.
enjoyed. She really enjoyed it, and I never showed her anything else. I was like,
That's
"Here you
a-
go. Here's Highlander," and she was like, "Okay, great." And I was like, "Just to let you know, there are several other movies past this movie. And she goes, "Oh, do you want to watch them?" I was like, "No, I do not. I mean, I have
for the
them,
love of God, no."
but
and,
I'm
and
not
the TV
going.
series. The TV series is pretty good.
Oh, listen, I told
Yeah.
her the series is actually done very smartly. It really is. And I said that's the only thing that makes sense, especially because they negate the end. They say like, that this might be like before that happened, or maybe it didn't end quite the way you thought, because just because Connor got the gift, the prize at the end of the movie, that doesn't mean that there wasn't another immortal suddenly that was killed and came back, and now the game starts all over again. So you just don't know how it works, and they play with that a little bit, and that's fine. But the movies, no fucking way, no, God, no. Especially part 2. Oh, fucking part 2. Oh boy. Ooh, I've never punched a movie in the face before, but show me where your face is. I didn't even say anything to her. Like, she knows Connor meeting Ramirez, fighting the Kurgan. That's it. That's all she knows. She doesn't even know anything about Duncan from the show. And we watched like a video thing. I was watching like a YouTube type dealie, and they said something. It was like sequels that completely ruined like the first movie or something like that. And like number 8 on the list was Highlander 2, The Quickening. And they give the briefest overview of it. And Darrow was right next to me, having never seen that and only the fantasy epic of the first movie. And she was like, "What did they just say?" And I was like, I tried my damnedest, hon, to make it so you never actually heard the words Planet Zeist. But there it is. Yeah, hon. It turns out he's actually an alien from a race that turns immortal when they come to Earth. And after he shuts down the artificial ozone that he helped create after aging naturally past the end of the first movie, as soon as one of these other immortals from Zeist show up to try to take him out, his immortality kicks back in and he turns young again and has to play the game yet again.
Sense.
And inexplicably, Ramirez, the ancient Egyptian posing as a Spaniard in the royal court. Please pay no attention to my Scottish accent and lisp. You got it, Ramirez. If you pretend not to notice that I'm French.
That was like a really big ask of your audience in that movie.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I mean, we
he's
had
a
the
Spaniard.
Scottish guy playing the ancient Egyptian posing as a Spaniard, and then the fucking French guy playing the Scottish guy. What is this? A movie that was made like you filled in the casting sheet with like Mad Libs? The fuck is going on?
I'm gonna point out John Wayne is Genghis Khan.
Oh
Okay,
yeah, that's
so, I mean,
that's a whole different ball game for sure. But it's just like I am the Highlander. I am from Scotland. No, you're not. Don't you lie to me, pal. But regardless, I mean, I broke it so quick, and I was like, inexplicably, Ramirez, who you saw beheaded 300 years before the end of the movie Highlander by the Kurgan, is now alive again. So there's that. In Highlander 2, The Quickening. And if you thought that was bad, then maybe you should just watch Highlander 2 Renegade version, which is actually just as bad, just with extra shit in it. It's like the first movie is an ice cream cone with that's instead of Jimmy's over it, it's dog shit. And then the second movie, like the Renegade version, it's
spiders on it.
It's that same ice cream cone, but instead of Jimmy's, it's actually like dipped in liquid dog shit. And
liquid ass. You know that they actually have vials of that stuff you can buy.
Liquid ass. I mean, that's a great way to describe Highlander 2. Just liquid ass. Nobody wants it. But yeah, she was just flabbergasted, just utterly gobsmacked. Like that sounds remarkably awful. I'm like, yes. Imagine my dismay when I put it in the VCR, and I was like, yes, Highlander 2. And then by the end of the movie, I was like, no, Highlander 2. No. Yeah. I mean, they tried to make up for it with the third one, Highlander: The Final Dimension, but it's like, yeah, we're really up in the ante this time. Oh, it sounds good. Like you had a fearsome villain in the first movie, as portrayed by Clancy Brown, really intimidating, posing, menacing figure. So you have something in mind. Oh yeah, we got a nasty villain in this one. He actually has the ability to like perform illusions. He's going to be give Connor a real run for his money. Okay, great. Who are you going to have play him? Mario Van Peebles. Oh,
No.
did you say Melvin Van Peebles? No, his son Mario. Oh. You mean the guy that was in Solo? Yeah, that's the guy. Oh.
Or the guy in Jaws of Revenge.
Oh, was he? I don't know. I don't ever think about that fucking movie.
No one does.
Yeah, but
except maybe Patsy.
John Wick. Just end those fucking movies already, please. I'm still just, like I said it before, they should have just kept it one movie. It would have been fucking perfect. Not everything needs to be a goddamn saga.
Well, apparently the TV show is supposed to be called Ballerina, and it's supposed to have Ana de Armas as the lead role. And
so it's a spin-off.
Yes.
It's not a John Wick show. It's a John Wick spin-off show. There's a big difference.
Technically, it would be the second spin-off because they did one based off of the hotel.
No, they haven't done that one yet.
But
they're going.
I could have going to. Yeah, I could have sworn it came out already.
Maybe you're thinking of the sketch they used to do with Christopher Walken on Saturday Night Live. Can I interest you in some fine champagne?
Oh, it's 2023. Okay.
That's what year it is. Very good, Leo. I'm Brandon.
Yeah, no, it comes out this year. I could have sworn it came out already.
Oh, so it's in very late post-production then.
Yeah.
Or just post-production.
Yeah.
Or they can just forget the whole idea.
Or they might.
Yeah, let's call the whole thing off. Let's not. It was one of my dad's favorite ones. Let's not and say we did. How about that? No, just me. That's fine. I'm okay. I don't mind being the outlier. John Wick sequels suck. They suck.
Well, I'm still gonna watch it.
So am I.
Yeah, same here.
Yep.
Wonderful. I'm happy that you guys are happy.
It's gotten to the point with those that I can't watch them because there's too many of them now, and really to catch up, that would be like 12 hours of my life.
Jeremy,
I don't have that time anymore.
Take it from me, someone who has seen these movies. Just watch the first one.
Well, Brandon, it's like what happens like with the Addams Family. Everybody and their mother is telling me I've got to watch it, and at this point, I just can't.
Here's the thing, Jeremy. I'm telling you, I'm not telling you to watch the series of movies. I'm saying watch the first one, and that's it. I'm not saying watch the first one and you'll definitely want to see the rest of them. No. Watch the first one. That's it. Watch the first one.
From your TV slowly.
Yeah, it's the first movie, particularly on its own, without any of the fucking bullshit that the whole story and character gets mired in. Past that, is phenomenal. It really would have been one of the greatest fucking like action flicks of the past 30 years, straight up. Not just action flicks, but like even dramas over the past like 25 to 30 years, if they hadn't sequelized the fuck out of it. It's the same issue that I have with Rocky. Like,
yeah.
And the difference is, like, I like most of the Rocky movies.
I actually have enjoyed the Creeds as well, and I'm like,
yeah, Creed is. I've seen the first one. I own the second one. I haven't seen the third one.
I haven't seen the third one either, but I want to.
But yeah,
I've heard a lot of good things about it.
They've all been good, so I guess why not?
I'm an outlier on that too, though. Like, I mean, I think it's great that they're doing Creed. I have no problem with anything I've seen from them. But, Rocky, I love that they finally kind of gave the character his due in Rocky Balboa. I actually don't mind Rocky 5, mostly because there's a point in it where I absolutely love, and I don't think enough people give it credit, where Rocky is fighting fucking Tommy the Machine Gun. In the alley, and you actually see Rocky suddenly remember, like, wait a minute, I'm not in a fucking ring. I'm in a fucking street, and I was a goddamn, leg breaker for the goddamn mob. I'm gonna fuck this kid up. Like it's so subtle, but you don't have like I have to abide by the rules of the ring. It's Rocky in a fucking actual brawl, which you've never seen in any other fucking movie that he did. Now, part four can get fucked sideways for all I care. I hate that fucking movie. I absolutely hate part four. The only thing for me that's worth watching in part four is right up to the point where they sign over power of attorney and get ready to get on the plane and fly to Russia. Past that point, I'm like, shut off. Okay. Let's watch part 5 and Rocky Balboa.
I hate to break it to you. If you hate part 4 that much, you might not like Creed 2.
That's not necessarily true. I mean, I don't like the overall execution and everything behind that movie. Like it feeds into like some weird nationalistic Cold War bullshit that was going on at the time.
Oh no,
it's so far removed from every other Rocky movie at that point.
Is that why you hate it, or is it the plot?
Oh, that too. I mean, I understand. I can understand like an opponent taking out his friend turned mentor. I get that, and saying like I gotta go fight him because somebody's got
because 80s.
I get that, but like the whole thing of turning it into America versus Russia. I mean, it was playing into all of that Cold War nationalistic stuff. I've watched it, over the past several years. I'm just like, this movie, as far as it just does not hold up. Like, and it's not just the fucking Happy Birthday Polly robot either. It's like so much of that flick. And there's things that happen in
the things you remember,
the first three movies, and then Rocky 4, like I said, up to the point where they actually like go to Russia. Like, there's so much good story there, and then everything that happens like leading up to the fight and training and all that shit, it is just fucking balderdash. And I appreciate the fuck out of them getting back in part 5 and finding out their fucking accountant who they signed over power of attorney to completely fucked them over, and they're essentially destitute because they went to Russia and left that guy responsible, and was like, haha, see, even the fucking in-story universe is like, you shouldn't have gone to Russia, fuckhead.
I will say about the robot, I was so happy they nixed the whole damn robot from the director's cut of Rocky 4. Is it last year or the year before?
I don't know. I know that the director's cut came out, but I didn't get it or watch it because of the aforementioned dislike and disdain of the movie Rocky 4. You know, it's like I bought Zack Snyder's Justice League digitally when it was finally established that the Snyderverse was totally and completely dead, not coming back, and it was on sale for $4.99. I was like, oh, good. My purchasing of this movie now will have absolutely no effect on anybody's decision. I'm fine with that. Until that point, though, I was like, I will not buy that fucking movie. I will not show it any sort of financial support until I know for a fact that it will shut the Weiner babies up. That's how I roll.
Well, on that note, we need to wrap things up because I might need to help Megan with Riley. So I want to thank everybody for watching this fine evening. Just head on over to thedorkening.com. You can find all the shows there. A lot of awesome people doing a lot of awesome stuff. You can see me here like all the time. I do a bunch of shows with these guys here. Comics Paradox with Brandon, his show there. The Dork Night, also Splash Pages, and the Still Token With. You can catch me on all those. But let's see. Let's go to Yo
St. Laurent on Instagram. Let's keep it short.
Steven.
Unfortunately, mine's going to be a little long, but I'll keep it quick. Super Retro Throwback Reviews on Facebook and Instagram. Unfortunately, Twitter is not around anymore because, like Brandon said earlier, it is a hellscape, and it has been overwhelming for us. Sorry, bots and bullshit. So, but we have 3 shows: Super Rich Throwback Reviews, the audio files, and CSI the Vegas files, and debuting on Saturday, Hot Gossip with Carly Kingsley. So be on the lookout for those. And I will be around at CT GamerCon on Saturday with Jar Jar Jeremy and Kevin from the Wicked Horror Show. And if you're in the Mystic area on Sunday, be on the lookout for the Dorkening banner, which will be displayed in front of a bunch of people on the Mystic Irish Parade, one of the biggest parades in Mystic. So we got some big, it's getting displayed in a big way. So happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone.
Woohoo!
Next year we make a float of Leo.
Yes. Yes.
Just Leo's head. Hey, everybody. Come check me out this weekend, the 18th and 19th over at Connecticut GamerCon with Steven and Kevin Crook. We're going to be hanging with Roger Clark, Marta Svetek, Kyle Hebert, and Caitlin Glass doing the panels. It's going to be a good time. Hopefully, it'll be a better time if you're all there. Also, if you want to hang out on Facebook, I'm Jeremy Courtney, and also check out Comic Book Lovers Buy, Sell, Trade, and Auction House, where you can buy, sell, trade, and auction off all your geek and dork love. And also check out Splash Pages on Tuesdays nights at 8 with me, Leo, Velvet, and Drew Malo. And yeah, that's about it.
Woohoo!
Woo!
Powerful Brandon.
Hey everyone, I'm Powerful Brandon. If you're having trouble finding the Dorkening banner that's going to be flying in the Mystic Irish Parade, just keep your eyes peeled. It's the one that says the Dorkening. I just love the fact that like the both of you said almost the same exact thing about where you're going to be. Like, yeah, I'm going to be there at CT Game. What is it, GamerCon?
Yeah.
CT GamerCon this Saturday with Steven, Don't Call Me Tina, Christina, and Jar Jar Jeremy Courtney, as well as special guest Kevin Hook or Buy Crook from Wicked Horror Show.
I mean, to up the ante, I'll be at the.
Nobody asked you, Steven.
I'll be at the...
Your time is done. Your time is done.
Time is up.
I'll be at the Cannabis Expo with Token with the Dead and Leo next weekend.
If you fucking talk on your own time, pal. All right. No, but like I said, my name is Powerful Brandon. If you feel so inclined, please come over to the Powers Combined Facebook group. We're a group of dorks, geeks, and nerds that just like together get together and share news, info, memes, jokes, laughs, good times, and to be had by all. Our number one rule there is do not be a jerk. If you violate that, you'll be booted immediately. If you want to follow me on social media, at Twitter, I am at Brandon's Powers, and on Instagram, I'm at this Brandon Has Powers. And also, I have a couple of social media for the Comics Paradox podcast that I do. Twitter, it's comics, COMIX_paradox. And on Instagram, it's at Comics Paradox Podcast. And that is the show Comics Paradox that I do with Leo and our good friend Justin Cooper, in which we discuss Elseworlds and what ifs, all types of different alternate reality takes and tales of characters and stories you may already know. We'll also do story arcs like Age of Apocalypse, or coming up sooner rather than later, Amalgam Comics, which is a combination comic that was done by both Marvel and DC, where they combine their characters. And in addition to that, we also do the Dork Night, Leo, Justin, and myself, in which we discuss and dissect all things Batman. Those both come out on Sundays, alternating week to week, and you can find them wherever fine podcasts are broadcast.
Woo! With that, we'll catch you guys later. Bye.
Deuces, everyone.